I think it was like 3 years ago that I noticed that Yamcha appreciation had gone mainstream. But back in like the late 90s and 2000, I remember people would clown on these Earthling characters, these human characters. This is when like Dragon Ball Z was like peak popularity where I was growing up. And Krillin was always made fun of constantly, more than Yamcha, even though Yamcha's weaker. Was like, oh, Krillin always dies. And for me, I never got it. I guess I just understood right away what nobody else got until years later. But it's like Krillin is like just a human. He's just a guy, and he's small too. He's like small and puny, and he is like fighting these interdimensional superpowered monsters. So if you're like an alien like Goku and you have like superpowers basically, and you're fighting people like it doesn't take any courage to do that. Anybody who is as strong as he is could do that. But to be weaker and have enough courage to be fighting people that are stronger than you, who like are going to kill you basically, it's going to be painful, and that is what takes real courage. So Krillin is, number one. I would say Tien is number two, like of the Earthlings, humanoids. But Tien is not even a human; he's a Triclops. So Yamcha is like the second strongest human in the world, and he had more character development because he was like the desert bandit. So then you actually have like room to grow. So he was kind of like a bad guy who became good, and then you have to try harder, and you have lots of natural talent, but then it's also lots of effort and training. And so overall, I think he's like a much better character. And again, because he actually, even though people make fun of him and he loses and he gets beat up, he has a lot more courage to fight people who are a lot stronger. Like someone like Vegeta, who's basically on bully status, like beating up weaklings. Yamcha is like who's the real hero in the story and who's the real bad guy? If there's a big strong person who always wins, but only fights people who are smaller and weaker than them. And then there's like a guy who's willing to sacrifice himself to try to save other people and help them. He's smaller and weaker, but he always loses and gets beat up. So like who's got the courage in that situation? Who's the hero and who's the bad guy? Like it's pretty obvious and objective at that point. I think that's why he's so much more of a better character. And again, Goku, it's just he's too strong, so what do I really care? It's easy for him. For someone that's difficult, it's better.